guys, and welcome back to our channel. This is Rainisha here, and I filmed this look for you guys today. I had a few ideas in mind for what I wanted to do for my first tutorial, but I did get this month's Ipsy Glam Bag, and it came with a really pretty eyeshadow. It is the JCat Blinkle eyeshadow, and the color is Tangerine Light. So it looks like this. I wouldn't really consider this tangerine just because it's a little bit more on the reddish side, but I still thought it was really pretty, so I decided to use it for this tutorial right here. If you don't like this color, you can also substitute it with whatever lid color you want. I think this would also look pretty with like gold or a champagne color, but it's up to you. If you like this look, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. All the details for whatever I used on my face today will be listed down below. Vanessa and I would just like to thank you guys for all the support we've gotten so far. I know we only had our intro video out, but we received more hype than we thought we would. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but we're just very grateful. So it was a good start for us, and from now on out, it's just going to be a lot of fun tutorials and videos. So yeah, make sure you subscribe and keep watching. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Vanessa just said bye.
Okay guys, so I have already put on my foundation and put on my eyebrows just because it takes me a really long time to do it. And I will have all that info for the products I used in my description box. Right now I am taking my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC42 and I'm just applying that to my under eyes. I basically make a triangle going from the side of the bridge of my nose across my eye, and then I'm blending that all in with a damp Real Techniques sponge. And I usually do this about one eye at a time just because the concealer does dry very quickly and then it becomes really hard to blend it all out. So I'm going to do one eye and then I'm going to finish the other eye. And now I'm going in with whatever is left of the concealer and I'm just going to highlight the rest of my face. So I'm going to highlight the center of my forehead and I'm going to bring it down to the bridge of my nose. And of course, blending out every part I highlight just so it doesn't dry up and it becomes really streaky. Then I'm also going to apply the leftover concealer on the chin. I'm just making a half circle, and then I'm also going to be highlighting around my mouth just because it is darker around my mouth. So I'm going to put the concealer on my Cupid's bow and in the both corners of my mouth. And now I'm going to be using my Sephora 8-Hour Longwear Concealer, and I'm going to apply that onto my eyelids because my eyelids are very thin and you can see the veins on there. So I usually like to put on this concealer because it helps conceal any veins that might be showing through my eyeshadow. Now I am going to bake the under eye. I usually don't bake my whole face, usually just my under eyes. So I'm using my Ben Nye banana powder and I'm going in with a not damp beauty blender. I don't like using damp beauty blenders because it kind of clumps up a little bit. So I'm just taking a dry beauty blender and I am applying it all over the concealer in my under eyes. Then I am priming my eyelids using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Eyeshadow Primer, and this is my all-time favorite eyeshadow primer. I think a little goes a long way, and I have been using this primer for years. Okay, moving on to the eyeshadows, I'm going to take my Anastasia Self-Made palette, and I'm going to take Morocco and an E40 blending brush from Sigma, and I'm just going to buff that into the crease. I'm not really precise with where I'm placing it. It's actually just really quick and I'm just blending it out. I'm just making sure that whatever I put on my eyelids, that the edges are not sharp and they're just very diffused out. Then I am taking a Sigma eyeliner brush, I believe it's the E35, and I'm going in with the color Fudge, which is just a warm toned dark brown. And I'm going to start drawing out where my cut crease is going to be. So I'm doing very little light strokes, and I actually wish I did it a little bit more above my crease. I pretty much did it right on my crease, but I would tell you guys to do it a little bit more above, just because sometimes your lid color does transfer onto the crease. So I'm just very slowly marking it out with few strokes, and then what I like to do is I just like to look at the mirror and see if they're pretty even or not. And I know my eyes get really big, but I'm just trying to see if when I open my eyes, if I will cover where my mark is. And then I am going in with a Sigma pencil brush, and I'm using the same fudge color, and all I'm doing right here is just deepening up that color and making the line a little bit thicker. I'm not really precise, I'm just saying on the line. It's okay if it's a little messy at first because we're going to go in and blend it. So the whole point of this part is just to darken up the line that you made. And now I'm taking a E25, I believe, which is a blending brush, also from Sigma, and this is when we go in and try to blend out the color more. I really like this brush because it's a little bit smaller than the E40, so you can really get into the crease and buff out any like dark color that you want. So I really like this for cut creases. And all I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit more of the eyeshadow Fudge and I'm just blending it out into the crease because I want that crease color to be nice and dark. And then I'm going back in with my E40, and instead of taking any more fudge, I'm just going in with Morocco, and I'm really trying to blend out that crease because I really want it to be nice and hazy and not sharp. So that is the whole point, and once I have gotten it to the right kind of blendedness that I would like, I'm just darkening up the crease a little bit more using a pencil brush. And now that I have it in the right consistency of darkness that I want, we're going to cut that crease. And so I'm taking some of my Sephora concealer again and using a Sigma concealer brush. I don't remember the number, but it'll be down below. And I'm just basically dragging it across my lid space, and you can tell how much sharper it makes the cut crease. Therefore, it's called the cut crease. Anyways, going in with the Blinkle eyeshadow, but before I do that, I'm going to prime my eyelids using glitter glue, also from Too Faced. I'm a really big fan of their eyeshadow primers. I love them all, and I'm just putting it all over my lid, and then I'm going in with the Tangerine light color, and I'm just putting it all over the lid. Wherever we put on concealer is where we're going to put on that eyeshadow. And if you guys struggle with getting a lot of fallout when you use like metallic-y kind of eyeshadows, one thing I like to do is spray my brush with some MAC Fix Plus, and so it kind of makes it more like a pastish kind of than a powder. So it's really easy to control exactly what part of your eyes you want it to be. And so I like to do this technique when I'm doing cut creases because it makes the crease really clean. And the brush I'm using for this is just a BH Cosmetics brush, and I'm just flicking out the shadow at the end, and then I'm going back in with, I believe that's a Sigma, no, I don't know what it is, I'll list down below, but I'm just basically buffing out the crease one more time to make sure everything is nice and blended. And after dusting off the banana powder, I'm just going to clean up that outer edge using the same Sephora concealer and concealer brush, and then blending out that line with the Real Techniques sponge. And then I'm going to tightline my waterline using the MAC Feline pencil. And then I'm very quickly off camera just going to put on my wing liner using Inglot Gel Liner and a Sigma E35. And then after putting on some mascara, I'm just going to put some fudge on my lower lash line and blend it out with a little bit of Morocco. And then I am just putting on some iconic lashes off camera really quickly. I wanted to highlight my inner corner, so I used Treasure from the World Traveler palette by Anastasia. Now I'm going to contour using the NYX contour stick in Universal Dark. I'm applying it onto the hollows of my cheeks, the forehead, and down the sides of my nose. I don't really contour my jawline, so I usually just put it on these places. Then using the light side of the stick, I'm just putting it right underneath where I contoured my cheeks and a little bit down the center of my nose. And then I am going to take my Real Techniques sponge and I'm going to dampen it out with my MAC Fix Plus, and then we're going to go ahead and blend it out. And so the trick for blending out cream contour is to blend upwards as opposed to blending downwards towards your mouth, because that's when it can get a little bit streaky. And then I'm going in with a large contour brush from Sigma and my NYX highlight and contour powder palette, and I'm just going to use that lightest color, and I'm just going to set every place that I contoured using that contour color. And then after we have finished contouring, we're going to go in with the blush. I'm using a ColourPop blush in the color Quarters using an e.l.f. stippling brush. I am just going to put this on the apples of my cheeks, and I'm really just trying to blend it in with that contour. Quarters is actually one of my favorite ColourPop blushes, so you guys should all try it out. Moving on to highlight, I'm using Parasol by ColourPop Cosmetics, and then I looked at my nail and I remembered it was broken and I got upset again. Whatever, moving on, I'm just dabbing this on my cheekbones and on the tip of my nose and on my Cupid's bow, and I really recommend the ColourPop highlights for people who like that dewy kind of soft highlight, because it's not really that intense and it lasts all day. So I really love these highlighters. But today I really want an intense highlight, so I'm going to go in with the Champagne Pop by Becca Cosmetics and in It Cosmetics fan brush, and I'm just going to go over every place that we put that Parasol highlight, because I really want to get that Amrezy glow. So I'm putting it very heavy-handedly on my cheekbones. I also really like a really bright highlighted tip of the nose, so I'm going hard on the highlighter today, and of course on my Cupid's bow. Okay guys, and now we're going to finish off the look with the lips. I'm going to first go in with a MAC lip liner in the color Cork, and I basically fill in my bottom lip as it is, but I do have to overline my upper lip just a bit, or a lot, I don't know, sometimes I overdo it, but basically my upper lip is a little bit smaller compared to my bottom lip, so I'm just trying to even them out. And then lipstick, we're going in with Viva Glam 2, which is also by MAC, and then once you've got that, spray some Fix Plus on your face and you are basically done, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this first video wasn't as awkward as I felt recording it. It was way harder than I thought, but we will get a lot better, guys. Please make sure to subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks, guys.